How tornadoes form. First, a thunderstorm occurs in a cumulus cloud, but it needs to be warm and humid. The wind direction and wind speed also matter for it to form. The air from the ground pushes up on the swirling air and tips it over.
Tornado. Go to the basement or take shelter in a small ground floor room, such as a bathroom, closet, or hallway, or even a basement. If you have no basement, protect yourself by taking shelter under a heavy table or desk. In a tornado, stay away from windows, outside walls, and doors. In open outdoors if possible. Seek shelter in a sturdy building, if not, lie flat and face down on low ground, protecting the back of your head with your arms. Get as far away from trees and cars as you can. They may be blown onto you in a tornado. Surprisingly, a bathtub is really safe spot to hide during a tornado.
After the tornado, give first aid when people need it. Call for help, turn on the radio or television to get the realest emergency information. Stay out of broken buildings. Go home only when authorities say it is safe. Use the phone for emergency calls. Leave the buildings if you smell gas or chemical fumes. Continue to listen to local news channels. Also, the radio would be good. Let your family and close friends know that you're okay.
I will be talking about hurricanes. They are fascinating storms and they are slow-moving, deadly windmakers and town destroyers. Have you ever wondered about how they start, how to be safe from them, or what is the aftershocks of them? You're in luck because this part will tell you all about them. They start as tropical disturbances and slowly build up to be tropical depressions, then a tropical storm, and then finally a hurricane. In 2005, there were 28 hurricanes in 1 year. The best way to be safe in a hurricane is avoiding the hurricane altogether. If you are stuck in a hurricane, then go into a secure bunker, but do not go into a basement. Stay away from windows, and if you do not have a bunker, then go to the most interior room in your house. Before a hurricane, you should set up healing supplies and some food and water, but you really should leave before a hurricane. Not only are you risking your house, but you can be risking your life. After a hurricane, there is flooding, power, and water shortages. And sometimes the water breaks down unbroken houses so much that they just collapse. If you have friends or family in places that haven't been destroyed by a hurricane, then you should go with them. Hurricanes are deadly killers that we cannot stop. Try to run away from them. And if you are caught in one, you should go in the most interior room of your house, or else you might die. This is Nathan Barkham from the Army Corps of Engineers, and we will be interviewing him. How do you protect people against hurricanes?
Well, so I work for the Army Corps of Engineers, and one of our missions is to flood protection against hurricanes and other flooding type of events. So it depends on where you are, but along the coast, what we do is we build sand dunes. Like sand dunes are little hills, sand dunes and berms, which is the beach that going out into the water. And what those dunes will do is when the hurricane comes and the big waves come in, they'll hit the dune instead of hitting the houses behind it. And the dunes are meant to be sacrificed, which means that it's okay for the sand to go back into the ocean. Every couple of years, we'll go put more sand there. If you were inland along a river, we would build levees or flood walls along the river to keep the river during a hurricane where the water would rise, keep the river within its banks, and not flood out the homes on either side.
Which state gets the most hurricanes, and which do you normally protect?
So I would say the state that gets the most hurricanes is Florida. So it's right out there, and all the hurricanes come up through from the Atlantic. They start out near Africa and come across, and if they get big enough and they got warm enough air and warm enough water, well, they could potentially turn into a hurricane. And usually Florida is right there in the path. It either will go into the Gulf of Mexico, like towards Louisiana and Texas, by way of Florida, or go up the East Coast, North Carolina, but usually by the way of Florida.
That was Nathan from the Army Corps of Engineers, and that will be all for hurricanes.